G'day guys and welcome back to ADOS the Great YouTube channel. So guys, in today's video I'll be putting together my All-NBA team tier list. I didn't create this. There are players I'd probably have that aren't in here. But yeah, let's change this one to third team. And then let's get rid of the other two. So delete. Where is it? Delete. All right, there we go. So let's start with the third team. Okay, I had an idea of who I was going to pick, and it's kind of lost it now. Third team, I do think we need to have Trae Young. I think Trae Young needs to be there. I also think, I don't know why DeMar DeRozan isn't here. Here he is, DeMar. I don't know. I had the idea. I had an idea of who I was going to pick, and it's just gone. I like DeMar DeRozan. I think he's a great player. He started the season off extremely well, but I'm going to go 2 point guards here, and I'm going to put CP3 in. I completely understand that CP3 hasn't played in a lot of games this year. He has missed a good chunk, but the Suns have the best record in the NBA, and that's not just because of Devin Booker. CP3 is a huge reason why they are so good, and I can't not have him in there. Another player, probably an honorable mention, James Harden. I'd say, James Harden could definitely get the nod for that position as well. But for now, I'm locking in CP3. Next up, going LeBron James. And a lot of you guys might be saying, like, why the hell have you got LeBron so low? LeBron should definitely be higher than that. Have you seen the stats he's put up? I have, and I respect the stats that he put up. He had to put up 50, 60 points just to win games. I completely get that his team should be helping him. He shouldn't have to do that, especially at his age. But at the same time, you don't see too many players that miss the playoffs get in the All-NBA teams. So he gets my third team. It could be a little bit of disrespect there to LeBron, and I'm sorry if you guys feel that way, but that one's just my opinion. Then I've got to put Pascal Siakam as the power forward. Later on in the season, he's been amazing. He was one of the players that helped them get that sixth spot, or the fifth spot, I should say. So I think Pascal Siakam definitely deserves that. So yeah, then finally, look, I'm a Timberwolves fan, as you can see. Got my Timberwolves cap on. If you can see that, I don't know. But look, realistically, Cat isn't a top 2 center. Best shooting center in the NBA by far. Possibly the best shooting big man of all time, but not. He's not on the level of Joel Embiid and Rudy Gobert, and Nikola Jokic. I apologize. What I was going to say after that, that's why I had Gobert in my head, was that Gobert, in my opinion, he is still a fair ways away from Gobert, but he's not at the level of Joel Embiid or Nikola Jokic. All right, continuing on after that brain malfunction. Next, I've got Steph Curry. Again, I put him there because he has missed a few games this year. Like late in the season, he's missed quite a lot of games. So the player I've got above him in the first team, I just think he's also missed some games, but he's been there the majority of it, and he's really taken a step forward. I think Steph Curry definitely deserves to be there. What he's done this season is amazing in itself. The Warriors have had quite a few injury issues, whether it be Steph, Clay, Dre. I think, Steph Curry's done quite a bit for that team to keep them afloat and keep them around that top 4. So I definitely think he deserves to be in this second team. The other player I think deserves to be there, and it hurts me to put him there because I personally think he should be in the first team, but it's just there's just too many players above him. That's Devin Booker. And that's what I'm saying. Like, Devin Booker and CP3 have been the backbone behind these Suns this year. Everyone else has sort of been a role player. Like, you've had good games from Ayton, you've had good games from Bridges, you've had good games from Johnson off the bench. Like, there's so many players that contribute to that team, but like, I can't have him on the first team. I definitely think him and Chris Paul both need to be on an all NBA team, but I can't have either of them on that first team. So Devin Booker is my second pick for that. Next up, I have Jason Tatum. No, I don't. I've got Jimmy Buckets, Jimmy Butler. And you guys might be going, like, he should be on the third team. LeBron should be on the second. Well, like, yeah, look, they've got Tyler Hero. They've got Bam Adebayo playing quite well this year. But defensively, Jimmy Butler has been amazing for the Heat. He is one of the reasons they're the top seed in the East. They're going to be a tough team to beat in the playoffs, and I think a lot of that will come down to Jimmy Butler. As a Timberwolves fan saying this, it hurts me to say it, but Jimmy Butler definitely deserves that spot. I believe that 110%. So I've got Jimmy Butler as my first forward for the second team. Next up, and this one might be another controversial take. I'll leave it with you guys to decide that, but I've got Jason Tatum in this one. Look, at the end of the day, I think the player I've got above him is slightly better. Whether the MVP votes suggest that, I don't know. And I might just be, pulling something out of my ass here, and it might turn out, that this wasn't the best decision from me. But personally, I think Jason Tatum definitely deserves to be around that first team. But I think there's just a couple of players that slightly not outplay him, but outweigh him, I guess you could say. So Jason Tatum is in my All-NBA second team as the second forward. Next up, we have my center, and that is Joel Embiid. 100% think Joel Embiid will be the runner-up in this year's MVP race. I think we're going to see back-to-back winners, and you obviously know who that's going to be before I even say his name. But yes, Joel Embiid is the center for the second team. He's been amazing all year. Like, they haven't had Ben Simmons. They have added James Harden. And as I said, James Harden probably could make a case for this one. But Joel Embiid 100% deserves to be there. Second best center in the NBA and probably second best player in the NBA as well. So I'm happy with that take. I think that's, in all fairness, you can have either him or the player we're going to have here. Swap and change. It doesn't really matter. I think it's going to be one of the closest years for MVP voting that we have seen in a long time. But I think the player that I'm going to have here is going to outweigh Joel Embiid slightly. Next up, I have Ja Morant. Huge performance in 2022. I think he should be in the conversation for most improved. He's been amazing, and there's no way he gets left out of that first team. I'm just going to go out and say it now. Next up, I've got Luca. Another player, like, the Mavericks have had a lot of issues this year, and he still got them up to that fourth seed. They were fight at one point. They were, it was scary. They looked like they were going to end up in the play-in. But shout out to Luca, man. He's just so composed. He knows what to do to get the wins, and he's done it well this year. So I think he definitely deserves to be that All-NBA first-team player. Next up, I've got Kevin Durant. Now, this is where a lot of you guys are probably not going to agree. You probably would have had Jason Tatum up there. Personally, I think KD deserves this. Yeah, look, the Nets were in the play-in, but he did miss a lot of basketball as well this year. I guess you could kind of make the argument that if Steph Curry is in the first team, why is Kevin Durant? Look, you got to think about it. The Nets played really well when James Harden wasn't there, Kyrie wasn't there. KD was carrying that team and doing it pretty well. So I've got to admit, like, Kevin Durant definitely deserves that. We didn't see Kyrie for most of the start of the season. James Harden didn't want to be there. He wanted to get traded, so he wasn't putting up the numbers he usually does. and KD was, in my opinion, carrying that side. So for that reason, I think he deserves to be in that first team. All right. Without a doubt, Giannis Antetokounmpo definitely deserves this. He's by far the best forward in the NBA, or the best power forward in the NBA. Third in MVP race. It goes without saying he deserves to be in that first team. And then finally, I have Rudy Gobert getting the All NBA first team. Defensively, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. It's got to be Jokic. Jokic is the MVP this year in my mind, 100%. I don't see him missing that. So, yeah, I've got to have Jokic there. I think Jokic will just get it over Embiid. But, yes, guys, that is going to be my All-NBA teams for this season. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with these takes? Do you disagree? I'd love to hear your opinions, guys. But that is going to wrap it up from me today. Shout out to all you guys supporting this channel. I really appreciate it. And as always, guys, I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.